Hey guys, Mr. Sixman here, and I just want to say before we start our new episode that I've done some exploring around the map to find some more shipwrecks, and unfortunately I didn't find any. However, I did find 2 crates, so I'll show you that on screen right now. And in the first crate we found 4 sonars, 6 research points and $2,000, and in the second one we found 2 radar dishes and 9 research points. But that's it, guys. Also, this episode here might well be split up into 2 parts, or possibly even 3. It might be 2 parts and then episode 17, or it might be 3 parts for this one. I'm not sure yet. But either way, this episode is beginning right now. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you on the other side. Goodness me, that's a cool sight. This is very, very dangerous. Depth is 82. Oh my goodness, something just happened. What was that? But yes, I am now coming to the realization that actually, guys, we might die down here. Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 16 of my Stormworks career mode Let's Play. I'm really excited today, guys, because as you might know, we are going treasure hunting in this episode. We have 2 shipwrecks to have a look at, and I've made a ton of upgrades to this sub right here, but we are all fueled up and ready to go. It's the crack of dawn at the moment. There's a bit of rain in the air, as you can see. Hopefully that's going to clear up as we get towards midday, but it should be a really nice, calm, sunny, clear day. So right now I'm going to head out to sea, point towards our waypoint, which is just under 1 kilometer away, and we'll probably end up diving about 500 meters or so before we get to the waypoint. So by the time we're down at the bottom of the ocean, we'll be roughly in the right area for the shipwreck, the first shipwreck of the day. And yeah, let's get out there and see what we can find. Right, so at the moment we've got our cabin lights on, and we do have instrument lights as well, and I think nav lights. Yeah, there we go, there's the nav lights on top. So we're ready now, and first of all we're just pointing slightly towards that dock there, so I'm going to put a bit of throttle on here, maybe 25%. Then I'm going to use this breaker, and that's going to turn power on for our motor, and then we can start moving forwards very slowly, just so we don't crash into anything. There we go. Very slowly turning around, and that looks fine to me. In a minute we're going to turn the generator on as well. And that generator, I've upgraded it now, guys, so when it's on I'll explain what I've done there. But there we go, we are now clear of the dock. Perfect. Okay, and I'm going to set a waypoint, but what we're going to do is turn roughly in this direction, which is south. And that's fine right there. Got to about 31% power. And we're just carefully moving around. Lovely. Okay. The sun is coming out, guys. It's getting brighter and brighter. And we're doing 1.38 meters per second at the moment, which is roughly sort of 2.5 knots, I think, you know, something like that. Okay, there we go. Spinning around, and we're almost facing south, which is perfect. And I believe we just want to go a bit left of that oil rig that you might be able to see just over there. That's it. You can still see the stars, actually. Okay, if we just head in this direction, we're going to straighten up now. Okay, now what I'm going to do is turn the generator on. Now this generator is currently a lot less powerful. I used to generate about 72 with that generator. It's going to go up to about 27 now. However, it runs for 2 hours this time instead of 10 minutes. So it's way better overall. But the smoke is annoyingly coming up through the hole there, so it's a little bit annoying, but it won't cause too much trouble. And of course, underwater, we can't run the generator anyway because it's diesel and it needs the air intake. So what next? Well, let's put a waypoint on the map, and here is HMS Midlothian. So we're going to put our waypoint right on that, and it's only 780 meters from here. We'll just gradually turn around to the left. There we go, lovely. And what we can do, guys, is go about 33-34% throttle and still charge the batteries at the same time, okay? Now if we have a look here, 1.48 meters per second approximately, and as you can see on the electric number there, that is going up. That means our battery is charging while we are actually moving along, and that generator will last for about 2 hours, so there's plenty of time here. It's not going to be a problem at all in terms of battery power for this thing. But also I've added a second backup battery, so now we have 2. We've got this one here which is made up of 2 medium batteries, And then we have this backup battery, which I just added, and that adds, I think, 10 small batteries as well. So a lot of extra power there. Now we're going to use those backup batteries, for example, if we need to pump water out of the ballast and we don't have enough power with the main batteries to do it. We're not actually going to use them just to get extra speed or anything like that. They really are for emergencies only. But now we are almost halfway, guys. So when we get to about 500 meters, I'm going to dive down, okay? And yeah, I have tested it. It should be very nicely balanced right now, and it should be very easy to use. But as you can see, we're on 98% power, and that is only because when we started out maneuvering, we didn't have the generator on, but we are gaining power still. So eventually that should be 100%, and I'd like it to be fairly high before we dive down, because that generator won't run when we are under the water. Right, 450 meters to go. So what I'm going to do now is take off the power completely. I'm going to send this down to about 20% and then just cut the power to the motor. So now we are ready to dive, guys. Speed is going to reduce to pretty much 0. And I'm going to actually just charge up the batteries a little bit more, just so we have as much as possible. But there we go, 99%. And if we have a look now, it'll be charging much, much faster as we're not using the electric motor to propel us forwards. So I'm going to bring you back in, guys, in a very short while when that is full and we're ready to dive. Right, we're back, and as you can see, full battery charge now. That is perfect. So now I'm going to head behind me out of the seat, and over here you can see that we have an engine cut off of the generator. All I'm going to do is put that on, and then very gradually the generator will stop running. There we go. Now if I release the button too early, it will just restart itself because the RPS will be too high. But that should be alright now. There we go. We've released the cutoff and it's still reducing, so that's fine. We have full power. Generator is off, guys. Now we're ready to go. And when it gets dark under there, because it will get a bit dark, I'm actually going to, you know, put my spotlights on and hopefully the visibility will be fine. But yeah, with any luck, everything is going to go very smoothly. Right, so the waypoint is 439 meters away. I think that's about perfect, really. And what is the depth at the moment? It is 59 meters. So basically, that's going to gradually drop off until we get to about 80 meters, which is where the shipwreck will be, okay? So what we're going to do right now is get straight into it. We're going to press dive here. And, oh, there we go. Our first ever dive, guys. And the ballast should go up to about, actually I can't remember now, is it 13,000? It has changed a bit actually since the last episode. But what I'm going to do is fill up the ballast all the way, and then I'm going to empty a bit when we are, you know, just to get a stable depth really. Okay, there we are, 12,937. So what I'm going to do is sink down a bit, and there we are, we're already fully submerged. But we are going to wait until that's about, I don't know, 30, 40 meters. And then we're going to actually empty our ballast tanks a bit. And then hopefully we'll be able to maintain a depth without rising or falling at all. So we'll just wait till we're a bit deeper first. And there we are. 8 meters now. It's pretty slow at the moment. Okay, so now let's put the spotlights on. And we'll hopefully, there we are. We've got a bit of a better view here. Hopefully you guys can see that clearly. But we're going to continue falling down very slowly. It's nice and balanced. The nose is a bit underneath the propeller. That means if we put power on, we're actually going to power ourselves down a bit deeper. But we are falling gradually. And what is our current depth? 12.5 meters. So what I'm going to do now is actually put the power on. And I won't use my fin spots till we're down there. What else might I need? I think we're fine, aren't we? Yep, so let's put our power on now. 20% throttle. It's only very gentle, but we do want to be gentle because we want to conserve power. And I've actually limited my electric motor to 10% power. So we literally can't go above 10% power on that thing. And that is perfect. We have a swordfish just going over above us there. But we are gently aiming down. And as you can see here, right, as I pitch downwards, I've got an extra fin on either side now. So we have double fins here, and that is just to give us a bit of extra control for pitching, of course. But yeah, we're heading down and we can use our artificial horizon because it's very hard to see from this angle. At the moment, we can see the surface of the ocean, but soon we might not be able to see that. So we need to look at this to see our current level of pitch and roll. And then also we need to look at this to see our depth. 30 meters, guys. We have another 35 meters underneath us, so we're pretty safe at the moment. We are still sinking as well, so soon I'm going to maintain a level by emptying our ballast tanks a bit. But let's get to 40 meters and then try and balance it out, and then we can just use our pitch to take us to different depths as we choose. We're almost there right now. Pointing down a little bit. Very good. Is that a painting mistake I've got there? I think it is. Apologies, guys. I've got some white spots around the thing, but never mind. And there we go, 42 meters. So I'm going to cut power to the propeller. That will just slow right down gradually. Okay, now what we're going to do next then, as we're still falling at the moment, is empty the ballast a bit here until the depth is not changing. So gradually that number is going to slow down. Alright guys, so we're nice and balanced now. That is probably going to change a bit. It's probably not perfect, but that is good enough for us at the moment. 51 meters, okay? So now we're going to sink down and yeah, it's remaining at 51 or negative 51 I should say exactly. And we have 22.4 meters underneath our hull at the moment. So now let's give it a bit of power, just gentle power here. And there we go, the speed is gradually increasing. We've got 20% power and we're going to head towards our waypoint basically, although underneath it actually, and we're going to make sure that remains almost flat at the moment. Now another thing I've added is spotlights underneath the hull as well. So if I just look underneath, you'll see I've got two here, and that means that look underneath us now, we can see the shipwreck when we pass over it basically. I'm just watching my pitch there as we go, but that should give us, you know, a good 20 to 30 meters of visibility underneath, even when it's really dark. But we're now going to just watch this and actually head a bit deeper, just very gently. There we go. That's brilliant. You don't want to make any mistakes, guys, at this point. Okay, 97% battery power. You know, we're pretty good, even down to 75%, and we do have the backups as well. That's exactly what those are for. So we're only 200 meters away, guys, from our shipwreck right now. We should see it very soon, actually. Let's just hope it is actually there. Let's hope there's treasure, guys. I mean, there might not be, okay? At this point, we don't know if there is any treasure at least this first shipwreck, but I really hope there is. So we're heading down even more now. Let's check our depth. 60 meters down, and we have 18 meters under the hull. We do have to be careful just not to run into the sand. That could cause big problems. But everything so far is going really well. Still 97% battery. That's really good. 150 meters away, guys. It will get a bit darker outside now. That's a fish. I don't think we're going to see any sharks, but we might do if we're lucky. Let's hope we don't get attacked by anything, though. And what I'm going to do, guys, is first of all have a good look around in the submarine, but then we're going to actually get out of this using the airlock properly, which I've upgraded as well, by the way. And yeah, we're going to go for a swim with the scuba diving gear as well. So let's just get there first and have a good look around. As you can see, we're really close to the ocean floor now, and we can see some rocks up ahead. No ship just yet. Whereabouts is it? Okay, we're almost there, 100 meters away, and I'm going to have to go to the side now. I'm going to hold A here and just turn left, because we do not want to hit any rocks and get stuck or damaged. That would be a really bad idea to do that. I think there was an octopus, wasn't it, just in front of us as well. But here we go then. Now, I probably will use a bit of third person and first person here just to make sure we're all right. But there we go, 75 meters down, only 5 meters underneath us. We're very close to the rocks, goodness me. And I think just over here, that that was a bit close, wasn't it, guys? Thank goodness I put the spotlights underneath. I do recommend that if you're building your own submarines or whatever. But I reckon that was a bit of the shipwreck we could see. So I'm what I'm going to do is just stop. Oh, wow, guys, there it is. Okay, let's stop our submarine just here. Okay, we've cut power to the motor now. We're slowing down. And if I can, I'm going to leave the sub lights on so we can go diving underneath and the submarine is going to light our way. It won't just be our flashlight, which is not the most powerful thing in the world down here. But before we go, we're just going to check our depth as well. And currently, you can see it is changing there. But that's partly due to our speed as well. So hopefully, and I think that number is slowing down. Okay, but we are currently surfacing a bit. So I'm just going to add a little bit of ballast on there as an octopus going past. We just want to make sure that's not changing too much, and that's really good right now. That's not going to change too much. If anything, it's better that it floats upwards than downwards, but it is currently going down. So we're going to try and slow the surfacing, and underneath us we have 10 meters. I reckon that's fine, guys. Let's go, shall we? We're going to go into the airlock. Is it balanced? Yep, I think so. We're going to go into our airlock here. Now, on this door, I now have a 5-second timer. Thank you very much to Wim for commenting and suggesting that we have a way of either locking that door, or at least I thought in the end I'll just put a timer on it to make things easier for me. But there we go. It's always going to close after 5 seconds of pressing that button now. We have our diving gear here, and also, thanks to Wim as well, we now have pumps to pump water into the airlock before we open the hatch. So we can fill the airlock like this. And you can see here the numbers going up, the water's coming in. Let's put our diving gear on. The screen gets a bit darker with the diving gear, but now, oh, actually, I've just had an idea. We're pointing down. This is not good, guys. This is not good. Okay, we need to empty our airlock for a second because the sub is now moving and tipping, and we're going to start sinking down more with this water in. So what I'm actually going to do is empty the airlock, and because the water is at the back of the room, I can probably open this hatch in a minute and get away with it. I'm actually going to go and increase our ballast, alright? So we need to do that now. Well, when I say increase, I mean decrease, because look, we are falling down. Goodness me, that's a cool sight. And I've just seen something amazing, guys. But oh no, we've hit it. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to rest here. I'm going to rest the submarine here. Let's just see. Are we're still sinking down. Okay, that wasn't the smoothest of landings. However, we're not damaged. I'm pretty sure we're not damaged. We've come to rest on the ocean floor. We're not consuming much power at the moment. I'm going to leave the spotlights on. And that was not a perfect run. I didn't think about that. But guys, mistakes are good because we've learned, and now we can do better in the second shipwreck that we're going to explore later on in the video. So, oh, I'm really excited now. All the lights are going to stay on. Let's get out there, shall we? Hopefully we're not going to tip over. We should be fairly stable, but I'm letting water in. That's okay. Now that door will close after a few seconds. There we go. And yes, we're still ejecting water from this thing, but let's fill up the airlock. Okay. Just like that. And then we're going to open the hatch. We have our diving gear on, if you can just about see there. I've also added lights into this airlock, so actually it's a lot brighter now. It's much better. And then when this room is full, we can open the hatch and there won't be a sudden rush of water in here, which is pretty cool. Right, so it's nearly full. We're underwater now. I think we'll have plenty of dive time, but we do have to be careful. You know, it's not all going to be smooth sailing here. And I'm being moved about by something. Is the sub moving? Anyway, it's full. Something crazy is going on, guys. I'm getting out of there. Oh, wow. Check this out. That's amazing. And yes, I have just seen what we've come here to look for. But first of all, let's just go and have a look. There might even be more than one treasure chest down here, guys. I've got no idea. Now, sharks are a thing. Sharks are definitely a thing. So my flashlight is on, and we are going to sort of, you know, move about fairly quickly. But we do want to just explore everything down here. There's an old anchor here. That's really cool. A few barnacles on there as well. It's rusting away. What are these? Barrels, maybe? Yeah, and there's the bow of the ship over here. And then, oh, that's incredible, isn't it? It's like we've got some ribs and bolts here and stuff like that. what's underneath us. So we're resting on this right now, and that must just be oh look, yeah, there it is, guys. There it is. We found our treasure chest. I'm so pleased because I didn't know if we would definitely find one or not, and we're going to get that in just a second. But just before we do, just have a quick explore around here. This is really cool. Lovely details. And there's another barrel or two around there. I think that might be the whole thing, actually. What's this? Is that the mast? Yes, it is. There's a crow's nest. And that is definitely the mast. We've got some ropes here. That's super cool, but we have seen it all. So now we're going to go and get this treasure chest. And I don't know if it's any better than the crates we normally get, but let's find out, shall we? Here we go. And it's moving about very strangely, I must say, but I want to get this quickly before the sharks come. Okay, 4 sonars and 9 research points. Well, that's alright, isn't it? It seems to be about the same as any old crate. However, it's pretty fun, isn't it, to come down here. Okay, I've left the hatch open. Let's close it very quickly and start ejecting the water. We need to empty the airlock. Now, we've got plenty of air left in the suit. As you can see, we've only used about, what, 20% or so. The water is ejecting. We can see it going down there. Not super fast, but that's because we're deep now. So whenever you're deep, of course, the pumps have to work harder to eject the water. But as soon as we've got a bit of air in the top here, you know, we don't have to worry at all. We can take off our suit and recharge it and everything. So guys, I'm going to bring you back in when we've got a bit more air into this airlock and we're ready to perhaps open the door, go back into the cabin, and then move on from here. Right, guys, I'm really worried right now. Look at the amount of air I've got left, right? And we still don't have any water, or sorry, air at the top of this room here. Guys, I might actually die. Okay, if we look on the dial, I mean, I've expelled about 1,000 litres out of this room already. It's not going very quickly, but unfortunately, yeah, we have no air left. Now, there is one thing we can do, guys, so don't worry. If it really comes to it, I can open up this hatch here and let the water flood into the main cockpit, and we'll probably be fine at that point because that has a ton of air in, and the water will just divide between the two rooms. But I just didn't want to have to do that, ideally. I've got no air left on my character either because I used it up trying to recharge my air using this shelf here a bit. Okay, so basically we're going to have to open up the hatch, and it's fine. There's no problem at all with doing that. It's just not ideal. So yeah, there's still no air up there, guys. Oh, it's almost out now. I can't believe this. This is very, very dangerous. Right, guys, we're really lucky. What I found out now is that at the top corner of this room, there is actually a pocket of air, which is very small. But as you can see, we're now breathing in here. So what I can do is put my diving gear into the shelf. Then my character can regain his oxygen bar. But also, the diving gear can recharge at the same time, just in case something goes wrong. But we're fine now. That was really close. I thought I was going to die. Now, we're going to wait for the rest of the water to pump out here. I think it's going to take quite a long time, but it actually doesn't matter, guys. The battery power is probably fine. And after this, we're going to resurface, charge up the batteries to full, and then head off to the next shipwreck, okay? So what I'll do is I'll show you my surfacing process here, but I'll wait till the airlock is completely empty first, and then I'll bring you guys back in and we'll sort out the rest of this, alright? See you in a minute. Right, guys, now I'm a bit worried about this because, as you can see, we are leaning quite considerably, and I mean, I've charged my diving gear up now, so that's all right. The airlock is now at 5,800 litres. It's doing okay. It's not very fast, but it is doing fine. We've got plenty of battery power, so that will empty over time. But I'm just worried that we might roll and get damaged. So I'm trying to stay very still at the moment, and hopefully it'll all be okay. If the worst comes to the worst and we start rolling, I might have to open that door and just use the main ballasts to get us up and to the surface. And if we're at the surface, this room here is going to empty much faster anyway. So I might try that when we've got only like a few thousand litres to go. But I am very cautious of the fact that, you know, if we open that hatch, that could change things around and we could cause some damage. So I am going to keep emptying it for now. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully everything will be fine. But yes, I am now coming to the realization that actually, guys, we might die down here. Okay, quick update, guys. Now we only have 2,500 litres remaining in this airlock. However, I don't know if you guys can see that, but we are moving around. Now, is that my character moving, or or is that the sub itself? You can see here we've got some movement. If I just try and shift around a bit. Okay, we're now standing on the floor. There you go, there's some movement there. I'm not sure if that's because of the weight transfer of the water. It might be. I'm a bit nervous at the moment. I don't think we're damaged at all. The airlock is not damaged. The water is still going out just fine. But in a minute, I might open that hatch there and see if we can just use the other ballast, the main ballast tanks, to take us up, and hopefully we can eject the rest of this water really quickly without any damage at all. Yeah, so if we look under the hull, you can see that I'm actually stuck into this piece of wood at the moment, and hopefully we can get out of that, though. I'm sure that's going to be fine. We're also making contact with some more wood down here, kind of just resting on top of that, and we are leaning to to the right a bit, as you can see from this angle, but it's not too extreme. And as long as we're not actually stuck in this piece here, I think we'll be able to surface just fine. But we're not going to use the propeller at all to surface if we can help it, because that might cause a lot more damage than we need. So let's just get back into that airlock and make sure that everything is fine. When it's a bit more empty, I'm going to open the hatch into the main cabin and see if we can surface. Alright then guys, the airlock is now completely empty, 0 litres remaining, and I'm very, very nervous at the moment. I think it's going to be okay, but let's open up the hatch first. And there is a bit of water in here still. That doesn't look like it's going to be emptied anytime soon. Oh my goodness, what was that? Guys, what just happened? We have massive damage. Massive, massive damage here. The ballast is filling up. Can we actually eject water? Guys, I think that is the end. Guys, look out the window. You could not write this stuff. What an absolute disaster. This is an epic rescue mission. Without a doubt, the biggest rescue I've ever done.